on design thinking using critical AI and Tableau.
Okay, ma'am, we should start, ma'am. Ma'am, we should start.
Okay. A very good morning to everybody. Today I am here to talk about innovation, creativity. So I think we are into the phase where we think that innovation and creativity is something which is like very difficult to do, or something which is very easy to do. We are in two mindsets. We are seeing people that they are landing up into various type of startups, but those startups are failures because they are not doing the homework beyond. One people are those. One are those who have lot of potential, who have lot of skills, but they are landing up into into a trauma that creativity and innovation is beyond our work experience or beyond our doing, so they are not doing anything although they have the potential. So as quoted that creativity is thinking upon new things and innovation is doing new things. Very very important point that we are creative. I think everybody has been made creative by god, because we everybody thinks something new, something very creative. But innovation is doing that, bringing into the structure that creativity, because everyone is creative, but everybody is not an innovator. Everybody is not a person who is innovating something new. I would like to tell you about that yesterday only, because I am the assistant director of innovation in our university, and we had an innovation conclave, very successful innovation conclave yesterday happened in our university, with 120 participants all over Delhi NCR who participated in that innovation. And we had six entrepreneurs, six people who are part of that innovation incubation, who were our speakers. And they were the people who were actually trying to differentiate between creativity and innovation. They were trying to tell you that you are creative but you are not an innovator. And why you are not an innovator? Because you are just thinking about creating, but you are not delivering up to the mark to bringing it into innovation. And the second phase of the people, they maybe are not so much creative, but they are innovating, and they're innovating with less homework. They are thinking less. They want to become innovators without doing a lot of homework, without thinking that whether their product or whether their innovation is required in the market or not. So these are the general guidelines that need to be followed in order to be an innovator, because creativity, as I told you, everyone has, but everyone is not an innovator. Nowadays what happens that we are into the specification that if somebody is knowing artificial intelligence, or if somebody is knowing computer science background, they are innovators. No, I can tell you nowadays lot of things are going into the specification of what is called as uh, combined effort. Even a person from healthcare, a person from robotics, a person called from pharmaceutical background, a person from general sciences, people of computer science, they can come together, they can make a product, because lot of things in the market that require skills from both the fields. They require products, they require outputs that are combined. There are things which are not only dependent on Java coding. There are things not only dependent on pharmaceutical or healthcare management. There are things IoT. I think IoT is a thing which is very very important nowadays for your existence. I can tell you, we are also part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and we got two projects from Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. And we recently completed one project, very simple. We just made the smart green and blue dustbin for the nearby adopted village. We need to think that where the requirement of that innovation and creativity is. Everybody knew what a smart dustbin, everybody knew what is the green and the blue dustbin, but where to use that, where to use that innovation, where to use that creativity is very very important. So I'll have a short description on nowadays we have the design thinking. Design thinking is a very very important terminology that need to be acquired by most of you. And a very important thing, you need to have some skill. And a lot of the people are a little bit afraid of coding, so you can go for visualizations, you can go for innovative softwares that is easily available in the markets. You can go for combined thinking. I think we have many friends in pharmaceutics, we have many friends in people who are in computer science, electronics, IoT. So make a group and do new projects, because I can tell you that doing new projects say standalone will never be helpful. It will be helpful when we have combined thoughts into mind, because always while innovating, we are not only thinking about profit. First innovation comes. If that innovation is acceptable, profit will always come. So remember, that is the one thing is incubation, one thing is innovation. And always when in a general starting layout, we are not always thinking about making profit, making a product. We are into the specification of creating something new, that is innovation. Okay, so I'll be sharing my slide currently, and I'm just stopping my video so that there is no issues regarding the presentation, and there is no bandwidth issues also. And then we'll have a discussion. Ma'am, are the students allowed to connect with me or speak with me for interaction purpose?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. At the end, or
Okay,
else if you ask any question, they will answer, ma'am.
okay. Now, in the starting, if anybody wants to, I can have an interaction with any students in the starting also.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay, so anybody in the general, because I cannot see you all, so anybody from you all, have you ever thought of innovating something, and what you think about innovation? Because from young minds I want that, because many of the people think what is creating, what to create, how to innovate. So anybody thought about creating something or innovating something? Any student? Can they hear me, ma'am, all easily?
Yes, ma'am, yes. All are audible.
Okay. Any student? Any student? Have you ever thought about creating something or innovating something? Have you done some business study about it, or have you thought about it? As I told you, have you ever thought about it?
idea is
What in your idea is innovation? Anybody? Because it's very important to reach out the young minds, because I am now 35 plus, but you guys are 18, 20 plus. Your mind with scope, with new innovations will be very very much broader than mine. I may have the experience, but you may have that fresh skills. So anybody, any student?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Ma'am, my name is M. Kavya.
Okay, lovely name. Yes.
Ma'am, I heard about innovation.
So what are you doing? And Kavya, what are you doing currently?
Ma'am, I know about just a basic about innovation. Don't know
No,
about exact meaning of innovation.
no. What are you doing? What is the course that you are pursuing currently?
Now I'm doing B computer science third year.
Okay, great. When you are doing B computer science third year, I think you must be very very innovative. You are creative. I know 100%. What is your hobby?
Ma'am, craft work.
Craft
Getting
work. Okay, great. This I'll tell you in Kavya. When many of our students, I can tell you, during any kind of activity that we perform, because we have huge number of activities going on in the university. Since you have very good skills of craft nowadays, Canva is one of the software in which my students normally, now every time they produce their own posters. We are not going with anybody behind, or any market person to design. Our students are designing our even our ppts. They are designing our for example, our posters. They are designing. So I think that skill is coming from craft work only. So what they are doing, they are adapting that skill of craft work, and they are presenting so beautiful posters. So now what Jamia Hamdard is getting from them, we are not giving people money outside. Our students are creating our own posters, our own templates, our own designs, and they are nurturing their skills. I can tell you that companies like TCS, HCL, Deloitte, they are hiring designers. And one of my cousin, she got a package of around 10 lakhs, and she is just a person, not any engineer. She got placed in TCS. She has done BA, and with a designing diploma. Okay, and she got a very good package. So when you think that TCS or Deloitte is hiring people only with a computer science background, now this is not the right perspective. If you have good skills in designing, go for some kind of softwares that enhance your skill. Have you ever tried that? And Kavya, have you ever tried that?
ma'am.
Have you ever tried creating posters, since you are very good in crafts and all?
Yes, ma'am, I created poster.
Yes. So I think you should nurture your skill. Canva is one of the software today's which is very very easily available. So you should pick up any kind of software easily available in the market and nurture your skills, because you are exploring your creativity, and one day that creativity will lead to you in an innovation. I'll just share my screen and give you a highlight of this video. Let's check this video.
You. Yes, you. How are you? You know that the tech you use every day is driven by certain values? Platforms that select your news, apps that recommend you products, gadgets that monitor your health. I work hard to bring you what you need. But my processing power has an insatiable hunger. And that hunger uses a great deal of our planet's resources. Do you think it's sustainable? The next 10 years matter most to stop irreversible climate change, prevent nature loss, and reduce pollution. 10 years to protect your future on Earth. I'm not just a convenience. I'm a choice. Every moment, every day. Mobile phones, fast internet, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, extended reality, predictive analytics, Internet of Things, blockchain. You have the tools to save the planet. The need for fundamental change is more urgent than ever. It is more possible than ever. The United Nations Environment Program is working with partners, from government to the private sector, with a new values system to accelerate digital transformation, building a digital ecosystem of planetary data, shifting markets and consumer behaviors, driving digital literacy and capacity building to achieve a sustainable planet in the digital age. You. Yes, you. You've got this. Join the COLLGE action plan for a sustainable planet in the digital age.
Okay, so very, very important video. I think you must have seen this. So I would like to recommend everybody that it's very, very important to analyze a problem first. First, you need to find out what is the problem and what solution can you build for this. The next video, which is coming into your specification, deals with the problem that we had in the last couple of years, that is COVID-19. There was so much innovation done during that COVID-19 period, that we were like we could have these things. For example, during the demonetization phase, we had so much of Paytms and Phone Pays and Google Pays in the market, and we never have thought that we would come into the market where cash transaction, because I myself now don't prefer any kind of cash transaction. I am always into the concern that I can pay my electricity bill, my any kind of water bill through Google Pay and Paytm. So I'm very less going to the bank or any kind of a line, because we have time that is important. Similarly, during the period of COVID, people had to maintain distance, people had to maintain that social distancing norms, people had to put masks. So much innovation was done due to the problem, because we need to think the problem. Drones, smart drones were built, and you can I can tell you, in India at that time period, around 20 startups were actually made, and they did very successfully. And they were not only startups, and which were because they were startups which are working on IoT, so they mixed that IoT with the artificial intelligence to produce huge amount of money also, and innovative solutions also. Check this video, which shows you how during COVID-19 innovation was done.
What the application actually does is has a number of sensors within there. And these sensors, they take your heart rate, they take your respiratory, and they take your temperature. Then we ask you a number of questions, general questions about what you've been doing over the last 14 days. Once those questions have been answered, there's an algorithm that sits behind there that calculates. If we have a concern, then that will flag up a secondary assessment. One of our roaming agents will come over to assist you, and then we will conduct the secondary assessment with our company Medlink.
No.
You must have your mask off because of the sensors that are involved, and you stand in front, and then screen comes up. So there's a white circle, and what you must do is have your head in there so it goes green. So once it's green, it's taking your temperature, your respiratory, and then your heart rate. Now it's asking me, do I have a cough? And I'll answer no. And we also have head tracking here. So with head tracking, I look down to no, and the cursor will follow my head motion and go to the no and register, which is now saying that I'm fit to fly, and it will now go through to the next process, which is to drop the bag off.
So again, this is a technology. Due to this COVID issues, due to the artificial intelligence and machine learning we had, we were able to produce so good innovation, because machine learning is now something not called as what is rocket science, or what is called as we always thought that fiction movies are machine learning, but machine learning is everything, right from your Alexas to right from your word of IoT devices, your cameras, your everything, your smart bulbs. I have Alexa at my house. I have smart bulbs in my house. I could have never thought that I can announce something person and my light will get on. So this is innovative, and this is very much thinking and then innovation transferred into it. And when we talk about artificial intelligence into surveillance issues, artificial intelligence into is in there also. We can say that the cyber crimes and other kinds of reports and surveillance cameras, they all use artificial intelligence. We always thought that US and China have the race of AI, but I can tell you that currently AI, what lot of work AI did in artificial intelligence, and what lot of issues that happened during the COVID-19 period. We had so many softwares built, but one thing I would like to tell you, that when lot of things come into the market due to a particular problem, the best one remains, and the one which has not done lot of market analysis normally doesn't fit into the picture. And then as we called as we know that nowadays robotics has come into the specification, where we use robots for even doing recruiting, that nowadays humans are not involved. So robots, because they think that robots are less biased, because we think that during the recruitment humans can be biased, but robots are less biased. As I told you, during COVID, maintaining social distancing, tracking the disease, tracking its analysis, speeding up the diagnosis, AI was doing a lot of things. And then when you thought about AI to fight Indian perspective, I told you that there were huge number of startup called blocks.app.ai, which was actually working on drones, because at that time during COVID drones was required to maintain the social distancing. Then you required a thermometer which could take the temperature from 15 centimeter of distance. Then the blue semi they did. Then we had the bite force, which was in using the cameras to be installed in shopping malls and stations using AI based technology. These are all Indian startups, I'm telling you, and they are very important, and they were very utilized. But what they did, they were not only dealing with COVID, they were dealing with the actual issues. And nowadays, as I told you, that during demonetization period we got Paytm and Google Pay and Phone Pay and many things. But what happened, that they gained popularity, and when demonetization finished also, then also we had that into the market and we are using it. So we need to bring something, the importance it gains during the problem, but when it maintains its quality, but when it's maintained its issues, and when it changes its model, or when it adapt to the updates, then it is very easily acceptable in the market. Even we had these are all remember, these are all Bangalore based organizations, some were Mumbai based organization. Then we had the Ray Vision, which is also a Chennai based startup. And then we had the Statue, this was a Gurgaon based startup. Then we had the Terix Stop was again a Hyderabad based startup. The Weather Labs was again a Gurgaon based startup. They used the CCTV cameras and they were installed in 4,500 stores, and they were also imported and exported. They were also sent to other countries also, which were facing a lot of issues of COVID-19. Vehan Technologies, the IIT Delhi based software, was using that is a combined visual and thermal camera, and it was actually providing real time alerts. Now this is very important. There were number of startups that were built that were failed because they were not able to get the correct big data. They were not able to analyze it. If you are not able to analyze the problem, then 100% your startup will be a failure, because unless and until you do your homework, unless and until you do a better market study or a better analysis, if your product is good and acceptable into the market, later on you can make changes, like, or you can make further updates to get it into the market or make it remain in the market. But if your product is coming from the situation where better analysis, because nowadays analysis and analytics both are important. Analysis is done before making a startup, and analytics are required at every step when you are proceeding, so that your product doesn't get obsolete. Then, as I told you, there are some of the advantages of AI, come some disadvantages of AI, but you are into the stage where you need to adapt AI. Now for students, I think we have huge number of students who are doing B in computer science, electronics. You need to adapt to tools like Azure machine learning software, which are, these are all tools which are easily open source tools which are available and which can help you build the model, because model building in an AI is very important, like the Azure software. Then we have the Cafe is again is one of the software which has the C++ environment, and people who are comfortable in that can adapt and go on building models. Then we have the CNTK. The CNTK is a computational network toolkit that is provided by Microsoft, and this also helps you to do a lot of visualization along with model building. And then we have the deep learning 4J. Those students who have a little bit information about Java or who are good in Java, they can use the Java virtual, that is, this is coming from the JVM, the Java machine learning, virtual machine learning software. And because nowadays we have some people are good in C++, so you have to see that what comforts you and what makes you build a better product. Then IBM Watson, which is also called a question answering machine, this also help you to train your model, because training of the model is very, very important. Then we have the Keras. I think Keras is hugely utilized by a number of people, because my students, lot of my MTech, even my PhD students, they are using Keras because it is in Python, because nowadays Python is considered to be a very, very easy going and very, very advantageous language. So Python is adopted by a number of people in order to build their models. PyBrain, again, this is a Python based library. Then SCI Kit can be used for both visualization and model building. Again, it is also built in on NumPy, SciPy, and Matplot libraries, and it works better than R. So nowadays R was considered to be a more coding software, and Python is more considered to be an interactive software. Then Swift AI is also utilized by a number of students. And we have the TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a combination of Python and C++. Theano, the only the thing that Theano has is that Theano is more of performing some numerical mathematical analysis. It is more into that. Then we have Torch. For Torch, only disadvantage that you have is you have to learn a new language that is called as Lua. So if you are adaptable for learning a new language, Lua, then you can go for Torch also. So AI and business is considered to be very, very closely related. Now people say that if I am in AI, I have to do lot of what? I have to do lot of coding. But this is not 100% sure, because AI is nowadays in fraud detection, in security, in marketing, in online searching, in mining, in retail, in healthcare. And if you talk about how to get started with AI, it's very, very important that you do the proper necessary homework, you do the proper necessary analysis. You need to specify where in your product AI is required or it is not required. Everything cannot be AI, everything cannot be machine learning. So if you want to do that product, if you want to go for an analytical study, then it's important to understand. For example, if we talk about healthcare, in healthcare, during the COVID phase, the vaccine was developed out because we had to do fast analysis. So as per the variant of COVID, and as per the variant of the virus was coming, and we had a lot of doses being given. So how it was done, because there we need to do the faster analysis, and for better diagnostics, we were using those vaccines to be built much faster. And nowadays, in especially when you are treating the patients, yesterday only we saw that can anybody tell me, just any student, can you tell me that we always know that in the last 2 years we thought that COVID-19 is killing patients a lot, but in India, around, I think, 7 lakhs of people are killed every year because of one disease. Can anybody tell me that name of that disease without doing Google? Any student, do you know? Any student, do you know which is the disease that is killing people in India more than COVID, or more than any other disease like heart disease and so on? Anybody?
Ma'am, dengue, ma'am.
Okay, dengue. Other than dengue, dengue can be, because dengue is actually not killing a lot. Most of the people have dengue, but dengue is not actually killing them a lot. Yes, people have dengue. Yes, I agree with that. Any other student?
Ma'am, rat fever.
Okay, fever. As I told you that fever again is dengue and viral fever. It is happening, but it is not killing people a lot. So yes, it is happening. It is killing some people. But anybody, one more try. Any student? Yes.
Ma'am, Ebola virus.
Okay, virus. Okay, maybe they all three. But have you heard about stroke? Anybody? Have you heard about stroke? Anybody? Have you heard about stroke?
No, ma'am.
I will tell you, stroke is one of the most dangerous, I can tell you, problem that people are suffering. What is stroke? In stroke, if a patient had that stroke, what happens that the oxygen is not able to go to the heart, and as you know that the brain also requires continuous supply of blood. So that blood, there's a blockage of blood in the brain cell, and if beyond 4 hours the stroke is not cleared, then that person dies. And India, we are not aware of that. So stroke can happen at any time, and what happens that it is being considered that every person has stroke in his lifetime, every person. And the problem is that due to the problem of ambulances, due to the problem of distances, people are not able to get the correct diagnosis and analysis of stroke. So what technology has been developed, you can go and do Google also. There is a small wire that is put into your like brain, and that brain clear that wire, very specific wire that grows into the brain cells, and the stroke is cleared in order to allow the blood to flow. Because as the blood will flow, then because once the human brain damages, then it cannot be recovered, as we all know. Similarly, if the heart damages once, it cannot be recovered. So that blood flow is maintained from heart to the brain. So in order to do that, there is a technology which provides very fast and easy methodology in order to cure that stroke patients. So this is novelty. This is something, because the problem is that we are not able to understand that stroke is killing people. We say that normally when we have those stroke, strokes, we say that our brain little bit, we had we were happening that our brain was moving, or we can say that was not feeling well, I was ill. So proper diagnosis is not done. So I can tell you that if we are able to recover people from stroke, they can have, because at one period of time everybody will have stroke, because it is being specified that stroke is the most dangerous problem and can lead to death, because after stroke within 4 hours, if treatment is not done, then your brain is damaged actually. So that's why telemedicine in India, telemedicine is playing a very, very important role, because during the COVID period also, we had the e-Sanjeevani OPD, which provided lot of information to people and lot of diagnosis and information without traveling, because during the COVID we were not allowed to travel, where you were able to get, and e-Sanjeevani was able to get, I think, lakhs of people connected during the COVID-19 period. And I think this video will tell you about uh, the telemedicine we have.
Can be a part of their lives every day. So our avatar Molly, she can check in with the patient every single morning, more than once a day if that's needed. She can ask the patients how they're doing. She can collect really important information such as their weight or their blood pressure, glucose levels, ask them relevant questions to whatever condition they might have. And all this information can be funneled back to the clinician seamlessly, so the clinician can just be alerted to which patients are actually possibly having an issue that day.
Your weight is 190.9 pounds. You did not gain any weight. That's good. Now let's take your blood pressure. Please make sure the cuff is on by pressing the orange button on the side of the
Because we have this avatar that talks to you and you can talk back to, it makes people way more engaged, because patients have told me it's comforting to have her. It's like someone's holding my hand, and they would rather talk to her than just use an app on their phone. Because of that engagement level, they're more likely to do these types of things to keep themselves healthier.
149/94. Your pulse is 81 beats per minute. Your blood pressure is a bit high today. We will keep monitoring that. Now that we are done taking your vitals, I want to...
So again, this video showed you how telemedicine is helping people who are old age, who are living alone in their houses. So you have a whole every kit is being provided, and they can monitor themselves. If they don't face a lot of issue, they can avoid going to the doctor at home. They can directly connect and directly solve their problems. Now, design thinking is coming into the picture. Now we are specifying where design thinking falls into the analysis. Design thinking plays a very, very important role, because actually, what is design thinking? You need to understand that. Now, I'll show you this. Design thinking has a process. Design thinking has a process of empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. If you are able to build your model depending upon this process, then anything can be done very, very easily, because I told you that actually every time coding is not required, the structure is also required. So when you talk about empathize actually needs to specify the underlying problem. It needs to understand the challenges. It allows you to introduce an element of innovation. So empathize helps you to bring the innovation, because you are identifying the problem, because problem identification is a very, very important part of design thinking. Then comes defining. What here you are doing, here you are giving a better clarity, because you are smoothing the process, you are building a scalable solution, you are actually coming into that holistic technology banner. So you are actually defining your problem statement here. Then what happens is ideate. Very, very important. that you are giving your idea the scalability, you are giving your idea the implementation level, how you are tackling it, here the ideate process, then the prototype. Very, very important, because they are here where AI, machine learning, or blockchain, or any technology use is coming into the market, because you are developing a prototype model, you are developing a full-fledged analytical picture where you can build that model and go into the market. And then deploying and testing is very, very important, because unless and until you deploy and test your product, whether it is adaptable also or not, bringing thousands of product into the market before and deploying and testing can be a huge loss of money. Now, in this particular environment, when we are talking about prototype building, for that prototype building, the design thinking analysis has a lot of explanatory analysis required. And I'll skip, I'll just show you.
Welcome to the Agency of Business Travel Academy. What is data visualization?
Okay, I'll skip this. I'll tell you about data visualization. We talked about in this particular design thinking phase that we are building a prototype. Now, during the building of the prototype, lot of analysis is required. That analysis helps you to find out where your market study of the product lies, where your product would required, where is it is actually acceptable in the market or not. So for that, you do a lot of visualization, you build graphs, you build dashboards, you build a lot of visualization analysis in order to actually get the picture where your product stands. And for that, you require certain software. So nowadays, I am also a lot of working on this particular software, which is called as Tableau. Tableau is such a beautiful software, and for students it comes 1 year free version. If the institution can take it, it can come in that particular analysis also. And you have lot of products into the market like ClickView, chart blocks, Power BI, and Raw. But I have worked on Tableau. Tableau is such a acceptable and an interactive software that when you are working on that software, you find it very easy to develop your visualization solutions, and they are very, very acceptable solutions because they give you the clearer picture. If students have knowledge on a lot of HTML and JSON, then they can go with Google Charts and Fusion and Ember Charts and your charges.js and even d3.js. So these are something which are again require more of study of JSS, your CSS and JavaScript and all. So people who are little bit afraid of coding can go with Tableau and ClickView. Who are more acceptable to coding can go with these developer tools. Now, robotic process automation, I can tell you, is also combined with artificial intelligence. See this graph and this process. Nowadays, escalating an employee is done with the help of RPA, and you can see that robot process automation process. Nowadays, Amazon has accepted that. Amazon is the first, I think, organization to go for RPA, and a lot of organizations are now going in the robotic desktop automation and even and robotic automation process in order to fasten their work. So let's check this here.
The reason visualization is important, it's very easy for people to understand data when they see it visually. And it's much more difficult when you just see it as a table of numbers.
Time and time again, I have seen that a well-crafted, thoughtful visualization just makes the light bulb go off in someone's head. And you just don't get that with a spreadsheet.
And instantly it's like that. And that's the power of data visualization to me.
The speed at which you can get insights about your data is so much faster than any other tool I've ever worked with.
The human visual system is extremely powerful. We actually process the entire visual field at once. And so when you put data in a visual form in front of people, they can see outliers, they can see trends, they can see the details in very rich ways, which means that when they're working with information questions, they can do it at the speed of their thought rather than having to write queries on a database. We make it very easy for you to get to answers.
Tableau has given tons of time back to our teachers, to our principals, and to people in the home office. Tableau has basically replaced all of the data gathering time and data cleaning time with just insight. And it just creates this really fast cycle where we all can learn faster and get answers a lot faster. So Tableau is really enabling us to have conversations that we never could have before.
So that's why Tableau is playing a very, very important role. I have a lot of things to be specified due to Tableau, and we can go on, ma'am, for once. I think today we have less time, but we can go with a hands-on of Tableau because I think today we have less time and I want to interact with them more, because I have 40 more PPTs which will be helping you to get information about Tableau. But rather than doing so, can I interact with the students more?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think we have to wrap up in 10-15 minutes, so that 10-15 minutes we can go with the interaction with the students more. I can share this PPT, and once they can check it, and we can also have a hands-on session on Tableau, because that will be very, very helpful for students.
Yes, sure, ma'am. We will have as a separate session.
Yes, because I think those 40 slides without a hands-on session will be of no use, but I think we can interact with them today, and then a separate hands-on session we can have.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So any student, what you grasp from my PPT or talk, any question you want to ask, I would be very much happy to interact with the young minds, because I always try to learn from you all.
Ma'am, we have a lot of tools for data visualization. So
Yes.
we have to choose which one is best.
From my experience, as I told you, that the most easy which I have done is Tableau, because what Tableau gives you one of the information that you are in the starting, you don't have any coding. Actually, Tableau has no coding involved, but if you want to connect with machine learning and visualization together, that also Tableau has provided you. There is a TabPy platform. You can install Python in your system and then connect the TabPy library. Then machine learning also can be utilized. So most easy and interactive from my personal experience is Tableau. But I'm not only giving my personal experience, I am giving you the Gartner. Gartner is one of the organizations which actually rate these all softwares. It is one of the most important business organizations. So it has also rated Tableau as one of the best adopted software. But Google Charts and other also are doing nicely. But I think Tableau is good. You can go for Tableau. What happens that Tableau gives you a 14 days trial version. Those 14 days help you to identify whether you are easily adaptable to Tableau or not. So just have a try of 14 days, then you can easily know that whether you are able to grasp Tableau or not. And I'm sure you can do that.
Ma'am, I had a doubt.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, can we learn the Tableau as self-learning?
Yes, that's the advantage I'm telling you. Tableau gives you 14 days trial version. I myself will also can share. I can share to ma'am a lot of links there are available, and you can go on those links. And Tableau is so much self-learning. I'll send you the link where you can just download Tableau. As I told you, we can have a hands-on session someday where I will send you those links before only. You can just come up with installing that Tableau, and smallest and in little steps we can easily learn Tableau even in one day. In one day you can understand the basic concept and basic learning mechanism, although the analytics later on you can improve in 14 days. So I can tell you the 14 days trial version that they give helps you to learn Tableau very easily. So self-learning can be done easily. I can tell you, I didn't know anything about Tableau before COVID. During COVID, we had that lockdown, and I learned everything about of Tableau in these 2 years. So 2 years is a huge number, but I can tell you during the COVID period, I learned so much about Tableau, and all self-learning, no certification, nothing at all. And I was able to give around 50 to 100 lectures in Atal FDPs and all hands-on training. Anybody else? Are you all okay with? You are able to understand my those who had the questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, all are audible.
Anybody wants to share? Have you made some innovation, or whether you go for some innovative conclave? As I told you, yesterday we had an innovation conclave in our university. Whether you attend some types of conclaves or presentations, because it's very, very important for you all to go into that network, to go into that market and understand what is actually happening in the market. Because unless and until you understand that, you will not able to get the clear picture. Okay, so whether you attend some conclaves or presentations or sometimes of conferences, do you do so? Any student, have you made something innovative that you think, or presented somewhere in the market? Do you participate in hackathons and so on?
And these are all third year students, just they are in learning phase, ma'am.
Okay. I think, ma'am, this is the most easy phase for them. They can participate. Maybe winning or losing, I think it's not important. Participation and learning is very important, because I told you yesterday we had 120 students, and we got. For me, every 120 student was winner, because winning and losing doesn't make you. They were able to go into that stage, because going on to that stage, presenting your idea or even your concept was very, very important. So if you have something in mind, don't keep it in your mind. Go out into the market, go out into any stage you get, and present your work. That's very, very important.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Any other question from any other student? Currently you have this as your stage. You can ask anything you want.
Hello, ma'am. This is Hari Balan.
Yes, Hari, how are you?
Yeah, ma'am. I want to know that what is the difference between the deep learning and machine learning? Can you elaborate some?
Yes.
From your
What Hariblan, I'll show you. I think I skipped this little fast. I'll show you something very, very important. Just a sec, Hariblan. Can you see this? Are you able to see this, Hari? Hari, see. There are 3 circles being made. One circle is of artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence in layman? Artificial intelligence is simple mimicking human intelligence. Okay, whether you are making a small kind of a robot which is mimicking human behavior, and you put some rules in it. I think you must all have seen the picture called Robot. It was an AI based movie that the robot was mimicking human behavior. So this is simple AI. Now machine learning is the subset of AI. Now what does it see? Alexa's, when you talk about Alexa is more of machine learning, because it is AI based, but it is learning from every day. If you ask Alexa give you different answers. So it is learning from its experiences. It is hearing you out. It is hearing your voice. It is like going on regular updates and learning from human experiences. So this is more of machine learning, that is model building. And now comes the deep learning. Again, deep learning is again a subset of machine learning. What actually deep learning does, deep learning allows software to train itself, and that training is done by speech, image recognition. So when you talk about lot of images, lot of voice, lot of analysis, neural network technologies, huge amount of data, where you need to perform a very thorough analysis. And for deep learning, we more go into the structure of what is called as image recognition, because images have that various curiosity inside those points, because images, as you all know, are made up of some bits and points. So So in order to extract the data from that images, we require more extensive learning experience. So that is provided by deep learning. So they all are subset of one another. You cannot say that I'm working in AI, I don't have knowledge about ML, or I'm working on deep learning, I don't have knowledge about ML. So these are all interrelated fields. Their father, I can say, is AI, and it is a subset. Machine learning subset is deep learning, and AI is a ML subset. ML is a subset of AI. So they are all connected with each other. So Hari, are you able to get my point?
Yeah, ma'am. Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you. Any other student, anything you want to understand or ask? Anybody?
Any questions, students? Ma'am, I think that's all.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we had a very interactive audience, and soon, ma'am, we will can have any kind of a hands-on session, or and ma'am, if you allow, we can students can join in. I'll be sending you. Recent we have conclaves and so on. Season, I think students can join somewhere anytime, because that will be very very helpful for them.
Yes, ma'am, sure, definitely, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. I think students all learned about the basics of design thinking and creativity. Surely they will follow, and in the next session, they will ask more doubts.
Sure, ma'am. I'll send you, ma'am, number of links that you can share to the students that are mostly of how to install Tableau, or how to go on with easy learning of Tableau. So maybe in the next time when we have hands-on, they are a little bit aware of that picture.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, students. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.